this is gonna be trippy.
All hung up on imaginary problems. You gotta focus on what's real, man.
You probably remember where the line comes from. If you don't, here's another one.
This is literally my favorite cup. Now it's gone forever.
This episode is controversial. Some people think it's cool, others think it's cringe, some fans view it as a fun story, others view it as a horror story. For the longest time, I was stuck in the middle somewhere. And by stuck, I mean, I was the captain of Team Completely Confused. But after a few days of Reddit rabbit holes, head scratching, and overthinking, I think I finally understood Puhoy.
You're getting all hung up on imaginary problems. You gotta focus on what's real, man.
This is the problem at the center of Puhoy. What is real and what is not? What should you focus on and what should you ignore? And finally, why even choose to focus on anything at all in the first place? But before we get into all the questions, let's do a quick recap on Puhoy. There's a knife storm outside, so Jake builds a pillow fort in the treehouse. Finn doesn't help. He's distracted by girl problems.
I guess I'm just thinking about Flame Princess. I told her a joke the other day, and she didn't even laugh or anything.
Finn whines a little more, and Jake brushes it off.
Man, having a girlfriend is hard.
No, being crazy is hard.
Jake drives the lesson home by taking his mug and tossing it out of the window.
This is literally my favorite cup. Now it's gone forever.
This is supposed to be the lesson of the episode, but Jake can't even take his own advice. Later on, we see Jake fishing that same cup out of the knife storm.
Oh, there you are. You found your mug. I thought you said you didn't care.
So, obviously, letting go of attachments isn't the point of Puhoy. It's just a red herring. The real lesson is something else.
Gotta let my mind fester a bit, you know?
Finn goes crawling deeper into the pillow fort to let his thoughts fester, but he finds himself in a completely different dimension. Pillow World.
Did Jake build this part too? That guy needs some more girlfriends or something.
Finn decides to explore his new world. He runs into a bunch of pillows running away from a blanket dragon. Finn slays the blanket dragon with his sword.
Oh, that's it?
He's pretty disappointed that the dragon goes down so easily, but the pillow people are very impressed. Finn is their hero.
I am Quilton, and you have saved our village.
Everything in this world is made of pillows, from the food to the streets, the people, and even the dragons. The pillow people host a party to honor Finn. This is where he meets Roslinen. Roslinen is everything that Flame Princess is not. She's soft and playful, and most importantly, she's not fiery. Finn can actually have a physical relationship with her. He can hold her and kiss her and do the other thing.
Where I'm from, blankets and pillows are used for bedding.
Well, they're used for that here, too.
Finn is stuck in Pillow World with no way home. So, he gets married to Roslinen. They have kids, they grow old together, and Finn finally dies. This is where the story takes a dark and controversial turn. Up until this point, it's a mostly heartwarming story. Finn is an excellent husband and a great dad. He's goofy and fun, and he always returns with the milk.
What is this? A pack of fearsome pillow goblins?
Daddy, we're your kids.
Even the sadder moments, like Finn's obsession with abandoning his pillow family so he can return to Ooh, are still mostly lighthearted. When Finn visits an oracle to seek help finding a portal out of Pillow World, the oracle, who is awesomely named Rashida by the way, just farts up a stench so strong that Finn has to crawl out of the tent coughing. This doesn't stop Finn from trying to leave, and it causes his wife a lot of sadness.
Just promise me you'll remember us when you're back in your real life.
The writers don't want us to think Finn is a piece of crap for ditching his family, so they never give him a way out, despite the fact that it's his deepest desire. Finn stays with his family until he dies of old age.
I ain't dead yet. No, wait, here it comes.
Emerges from the pillow fort in the treehouse, he's still a teenage boy. While he's lived an entire lifetime in Pillow World, in Ooh, it's only been a few hours. Finn is eager to tell Jake about the experience, but the phone rings. Flame Princess finally got the joke. I forgot about that one. The reason why Finn went into the pillow fort in the first place was because he was depressed about Flame Princess not getting a joke that he told.
More like she used up all her laughs in some other guy's jokes, probably.
When Flame Princess finally gets it, Finn is ecstatic.
She said she didn't get my joke till just now, and that it's really funny and awesome.
But what happens next is the opposite of funny and awesome. Finn just forgets. He completely forgets his pillow family.
Now what about this dream?
What dream?
The dream you just had in the pillow fort?
Finn's forgetfulness is where the controversy starts. But before we get into why he forgets, we have to deal with a more fundamental question. Was Finn just dreaming? Or was Pillow World real? Okay, if the whole thing was just a dream, it'd be sad, but it wouldn't be a big deal in the grand scheme of things. I mean, we forget our dreams all the time. Personally, I forget them the minute I wake up. The more I try to remember them, the harder I forget. But if Pillow World is a real place and Finn just forgot about it, the implications could be pretty horrendous. So, was it a dream or not? Finn himself believes it's a dream.
I just had the #1 wildest dream.
But we can't take Finn's word for it. He's an unreliable narrator. He doesn't understand the time dilation and interdimensional travel, so he goes for the easiest explanation. It was just a dream. For a proper explanation, we have to look at The Inner Light from Star Trek: The Next Generation. This is the episode that inspired Puhoy. Just like Finn, Captain Kirk gets stuck on an alien planet. He has a wife and kids and grandkids. He lives a full life. Then he grows old and dies. After he dies, he returns to the Enterprise. In Kirk's case, a dying civilization sent out a probe to upload its memories into somebody's head. Kirk is that lucky somebody. When the Enterprise gets near the probe, an energy beam from the probe knocks Captain Kirk unconscious and uploads the experience into his brain. The process takes 25 minutes, but Kirk feels like he's lived an entire lifetime. Kirk's life with the wife and kids and friends feels real, but he is actually on the Enterprise the entire time. By the time the Enterprise reaches the star system, life in the area had been dead for 1,000 years. Puhoy is a little different. Star Trek is science fiction, while Adventure Time is mostly fantasy. Star Trek also makes it clear that Kirk never actually left the Enterprise. The whole thing with the wife and kids and a happy life on an alien planet was just in his head. But Adventure Time keeps it ambiguous. If you take Finn's word for it, you might conclude that he never actually left the pillow fort. He just had a trippy dream with a standard happy wife, happy life fantasy. But there are 3 things that point to a different direction. Things that indicate Pillow World is a real place, and Finn actually lived there. The first of those things is the arm. We know Finn is destined to lose his arm. Puhoy foreshadows this by showing Pillow World Finn with an artificial arm in the Oracle's tent. The second sign that the adventures in Puhoy are real is Golb. When Finn dies and leaves Pillow World, his soul bounces off Golb's tongue and narrowly avoids being eaten before he returns to Oo. This is Golb's first appearance in Adventure Time. If the whole thing was just a dream, there would be no reason for Golb to be there. The only reason Finn meets Golb was because he was traveling between dimensions. Golb is also the reason why Finn forgot about Pillow World. If Golb destroyed Pillow World, it would make sense that everything about it would be erased from existence. That includes memories in Finn's head. The third reason is that Finn's children from Pillow World, Jay and Bonnie, make an appearance in the Fiona and Cake series. This pretty much confirms that Pillow World is real. But why did Finn forget? I blame that on Golb. He probably destroyed Pillow World and erased everything about it from existence. This also creates a nice parallel with the Star Trek episode that Puhoy is based on. Kirk's planet was destroyed by its star, and Finn's planet was eaten by Golb. One is science-y and the other is fantasy, but thematically, they're still kind of the same thing. Worlds destroyed by a powerful outside force that now only survive as memories in the heads of travelers. But Finn forgot all about Pillow World, so that's a little depressing. Okay, it's not the happy ending I would have liked for Finn's Pillowland family, but life never really has a happy ending. We all die. Everything around us also die. Nothing is truly immortal. People die, mountains get eroded, and even oceans dry up. I mean, Utah used to be covered by an ocean, and the Sahara Desert used to have rivers and lakes and trees. 99.9% of all species that have ever existed on Earth are gone now. 65 million years ago, dinosaurs ruled the Earth, and our ancestors were just food. An asteroid came, started an ice age, and all the dinosaurs died because they couldn't find enough food to sustain their huge bodies in a frozen wasteland. Our ancestors survived because they were, well, tiny. I mean, they were literally the size of rats. Being that small sucks, obviously, but the advantage our ancestors had after the ice age was that they didn't need that much food. A T-Rex needed 40,000 calories a day just to stay alive. That's 60 pounds of meat every single day. Our ancestors only needed to eat something like 4 mosquitoes, and they were pretty good. So, once the Ice Age came and everything started dying, guess who had an easier time finding food? So I believe this is the message of Puhoy. Life is fleeting, and everything dies. Even if your planet doesn't get eaten by Golb, like poor Pillow World, there's plenty of things that could go wrong. Everything is ultimately temporary, and all you can do is make the best of the moment that you have right now. We see this with Finn. When Rashida almost chokes him with farts, Finn gives up trying to leave Pillow World and makes the best attempt at being a husband to his wife and a dad to his kids. And he's happier for it. This is helped along by a fake memory from Jake, but in this particular case, I'm willing to let the ends justify the means.
You're getting all hung up on imaginary problems. Stay with your new wife.
This fake memory is a reframing of Jake's original advice.
All hung up on imaginary problems. You gotta focus on what's real, man.
Finn's Pillow World family may not have been what he wanted most, but he gave it his best shot, and he was all the happier for it. If he had kept obsessing over finding a portal out of Pillowland, he would have just been miserable the entire time. It's the same with his relationship with Flame Princess. Finn worried himself to death over nothing.
I told her a joke the other day, and she didn't even laugh or anything. Guess it's over between us.
We now know that the only reason Flame Princess didn't laugh was because she didn't get the joke. And Finn was just depressing himself for no reason. When Flame Princess finally gets the joke, Finn is happy. But he could have avoided all the sadness by, just not worrying too much about it. This is the lesson Pillow World Finn learns later on without even realizing it. He stops obsessing over finding a portal to Oo and focuses on raising his family. That is the lesson in Puhoy. Everything is temporary, so get out of your head and make the best of the moment. Initially, Treehouse Finn was living in his head worrying about Flame Princess and ignoring his friends. Then, Pillow World Finn was living in his head obsessing over an interdimensional portal instead of focusing on his family. But once he kicks the obsession, he's very happy. Even on his deathbed, he's still happy.
I remember back when I was dad.
Dad, you are Dad.
After dying, Old Man Finn returns to the treehouse and becomes Boy Finn again. He doesn't obsess over his Pillow World family and never tries to find a way back like a lot of people would. He just forgets Pillow World and focuses on his present circumstances. This is a powerful lesson, especially for us overthinkers. I live half my life in my head and I know it's wrong, but I just can't help it. I have built a whole fantasy life that is way more interesting than my real life, but I believe that in doing so, I've kind of neglected my real life. And just like Finn, I'm beginning to realize that I should stop obsessing over things I can't change. Finn couldn't control the feelings of Flame Princess and her ability to get his joke, so worrying about it was pointless. It just wasted his time and made him miserable. If he had started worrying about his Pillow World family after returning to the treehouse, that would have just made him more miserable as well. But he didn't. He had learned the discernment to distinguish between what is important and what is not. Philosophers, priests, and motivational speakers have been trying to teach us this lesson for years. We never listen. But maybe we should. We have to learn to accept the things that we can't change instead of depressing ourselves with wishes and fantasies. Now, knowing the difference between what can be changed and what cannot is another topic entirely. Some things look like they can be changed, but they actually can't. Other things look like they can't be changed, but they actually can. Knowing that difference requires a little wisdom and experience. For things like relationships and family, you can usually tell the difference between what you can change and what you can't very easily. But for the wider world, knowing the difference between what you can change and what you can't requires a kind of wisdom that I just don't have yet. So we're gonna cover that topic in the future when I'm a little older and hopefully a lot wiser. But in the meantime, thank you for watching. And may you overthink less today. Goodbye.